totally a God thing that we have the readings this week in light of our coming together for our annual Celebration Sunday. Why? Well, because for one, we have a crowd. We gather together surrounded by word and sacrament, food and fellowship, all given freely by our Lord. We begin with the Lord's words to Isaiah. "Ho, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and you that have no money, come, buy and eat." The Lord invites everyone who is hungry and thirsty to come. Eat and drink, regardless of ability to pay. Food is not meant only for those who can pay, but for all people. Now, this message is an important one for Jesus. For all of the things that we may, as a society, in a modern society, argue about what Jesus meant or said about things, or what he thought was important, what he didn't think was necessary, important enough to talk about, one thing is absolutely sure. Jesus commanded us to feed the hungry. So much so that this story about feeding of the masses is recorded in all four Gospels. And that rarely happens. So when it does, we need to pause and pay attention. Jesus had heard about John the Baptist's execution, and he wanted to get off for a while and to grieve, maybe to regroup a little. But the ministry doesn't stop. The crowds followed him. Jesus couldn't just push them away. They were people looking for a shepherd. Some of them were sick and in serious need of healing. Matthew tells us that Jesus had compassion for them. So in the midst of his own grief and pain, Jesus took care of them. When it was evening, the disciples came to Jesus and said, "This is a deserted place, and the hour is now late. Send the crowds away so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves." "Look, Jesus, it's late. Let's take care of ourselves. Tell the people to go away and find something to eat. We only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. It'll feed us. But if we feed them, there's not going to be enough for us. And besides, it'd be rude to eat in front of them. Send them away." Jesus said to his disciples, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." When our cupboards get thin, a natural reaction is to say, "Well, if I give all that I have, then what will I do?" What am I saying? Most of us here in the United States have no concept of what it means to be hungry. We have no concept of what it means for our cupboards to be empty, and even if we do, it's not for very long. So let's talk about that. Are you flipping my chart? Just click. Beauty. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, in the year 2015, almost 13%, 5.8 million households were what's known as food insecure. The USDA defines food insecurity as a state in which consistent access to adequate food is limited by a lack of money or other resources during times of the year. A good shorthand term for insecurity, like food insecurity, might be struggling to avoid hunger, hungry or at risk of hunger, that hungry or faced by the threat of hunger. Now that's significant when we consider that about 3 million of those households contain children. And according to the Central Texas Food Bank in Austin, where we get our food from our food pantry from, about 15% of Fayette County, 16% of Lee County are food insecure. According to the Houston Area Food Bank, 16% of the people in LaGrange, in this zip code, are listed as food insecure. Now, I spoke to someone from the Amen Food Pantry the other day, and he told me that the Amen Food Pantry currently serves an average of about 225 households. That's about 900 people. That doesn't include the mobile food pantry trucks that serve Fayetteville and Waldeck. That's a lot of hunger. If you're like me, though, statistics make my eyes glaze over. They make it difficult. They just, it all just kind of goes out in the wash. So let me give you an easy challenge. Okay, who are my current or former teachers or administrators in the school system? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, all right. Here's my challenge to you, not to my teachers, but to everyone else. Find one of these folks today and ask them if they've ever had anybody in one of their classes that has been food insecure, that has come to school hungry. I'm willing to bet, and I may get in trouble with this, I may be a little short, I'm willing to bet my next paycheck that you won't find a teacher that will honestly say that they've never had a student in their class that wasn't hungry. I've heard, and I'm not a teacher, I've heard some horrific stories about children coming to school hungry. Let's get back to the gospel reading. Jesus told the people to sit down and told his disciples to bring the bread and fish to him. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven. He blessed and broke the loaves. And he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. In Matthew's telling of the miracle, Jesus gives to the disciples to distribute to the crowds. Now that's significant when we consider our call as disciples. In the night in which he was betrayed, our Lord Jesus took bread. When he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body given for you. Do this for the remembrance of me." After supper, he took, he took the cup. When he had given thanks, he gave it for all to drink, saying, "Take and drink this cup, the new covenant in my blood, shed for you and for all people for the forgiveness of sin. Do this for the remembrance of me." These are the words of institution we say every time that we receive communion. We will say them again here in a few minutes. But what does it mean to do this in remembrance of me? Well, at least in part it means to do what Jesus did when he fed the masses. Feed them. Don't try to assess whether they're worthy or deserving. Just feed them. Feed them. Feed them. The reality is that at any moment, they might be us. Most people in the United States live paycheck to paycheck. At any moment, if the paycheck stops, the food and shelter stops. So we want to be real careful of the us and them talk. And Isaiah has something to say about that as well. Not just about Jesus, but about the call of the Israelites and about our call as Jesus' disciples. "See, you shall call nations that you do not know, and nations that do not know you shall run to you. Because of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you." Despite our food insecurity rate and all of the statistics that I gave you before, this nation is still one of the richest in the world. With that gift comes great responsibility to give to any who has need. I wonder what it would be like if each of us promised next time we buy a drive-through meal ticket if we promise to buy one extra and give it away to someone we don't know? The Amen representative that I spoke to asked me also to share this with you. Food donations are always very low in the summer. Mostly because people forget to donate during the summer, right? We're so busy summering that we forget to donate. And so the cupboards are short. Interesting thing also is everybody always wants to give green beans. Some of the things that they're short of that would be helpful is fresh produce. So we're trying to figure out what to do with this fresh produce. The food pantry can tell you what they can do with it. The other thing I thought was interesting is they're short of gluten-free. You see, the Central Texas Food Bank, where we get our food from, doesn't have gluten-free stuff generally. Now, cereal tends to be gluten-free, but other than that, you really can't subsist on, well, cereal. So that's the other thing that they tend to be short of. And he also said to remind people that they can do more with $1 than we can. Well, there comes a punchline to this miracle that Jesus performs. In verses 20 to 21, all the crowd ate and were filled, and they took up what was left over of the broken pieces, 12 baskets full. And those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Now, I wish Matthew hadn't excluded women and children, but imagine how many more people that added to the miracle, and it becomes even more incredible. Let's have a prayer. God, thank you for all that we have. Thank you for the food we receive each day, but especially today. Help us to remember those who are food insecure. Empower us to give to any as there is need, trusting in your ability to multiply abundantly. Thank you for those who work each day to ensure that no one goes hungry. Thank you for those who, even at this very moment, work to provide food for us at this meal. We thank you especially for your Son, Jesus, who gave everything he had without considering the cost. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.